Hi friends, it's Becky, and I want to share a little project with you that I thought of when I was opening the dollar bead box for April. Now, I'm really hoping that seeing one of the beads from the dollar bead box isn't going to ruin or spoil the surprise for you if that's what you are wanting to look at. But I really wanted to make these little pimento stuffed olive cluster earrings with these lime green jerk beads that came in that box. Now there are plenty of them. I could make a bigger cluster than this if I wanted to, but I think this is going to be just clustery enough. Also, I'm very aware that olives do not grow in clusters, but they also don't grow with pimentos stuffed in them. So I think we can get away with a little bit of creative license with this one. Some of the other additional materials that I'm going to be using for this are these little 15-0 seed beads, and these are a sort of bright but matte orange. I know pimentos are more like kind of an orangey red, but I don't have orangey red 15-0s. And with these being 4mm beads, 11-0s would be a little bit big for them, so I'm sticking with 15-0s for this project. And sticking with 15-0s means also that there are a couple of other considerations with materials. Like I cannot use a head pin for my drops with this thick of a wire because the 15-0s just won't fit on this, so I'm using a thinner wire head pin. And I also want something that has kind of a smaller head pin at the bottom than this anyway. Now if you have some ball head pins, the wire will be thin enough, but I just want to show you that it kind of ruins that ball. It kind of ruins the whole pimento olive look. So I'm not using ball head pins. They're just flat head pins with a small flat section and a thinner gauge wire, something that's about maybe 21 gauge or 22 gauge, something like that. So to do this, we're going to be also creating these little dangles, using these head pins, and then linking them together with some 4mm jump rings. So I'm going to be using those. I've got myself a little ear wire, and the tools that I'm using are some flush cutters, chain nose pliers, and round nose pliers. I am also, when I go to open and close the jump rings, just going to grab another set of pliers to hold the other side of the jump rings. That's the tools that I'm going to be using. Alright, so let's get started making these little dangles. I'm going to go ahead and make all of them on this video so I can tell you about the challenge that starts today for me. I do like to do little personal challenges for myself. They help spark my creativity, they give me some little direction of things to do, and if you'd like to join me, you are more than welcome. There aren't any prizes, but it is a really fun activity because I love making earrings. I'm going to be making at least one pair of earrings every day for the month of April. So this will be project number 1. To make the little dangles, and I'm going to be making 11 of them like this, I'm going to first put my 15-0 seed bead right there on the end of my head pin. I'm going to plop this druk right on top. And then I'm going to take my round nose pliers, and I don't need a large loop, so I'm just going to hold it kind of close to the end. And I'm just angling my pliers before I give it a squeeze so that it bends back around the end of my pliers just a little bit. And then I'm using my finger to push it up over the top of those pliers. And where it's at right here, I'm going to rotate my pliers like that, push this around to the other side, and then grab a second set of pliers, just using my chain nose pliers while it's still stuck on the round nose pliers, and just bring the end of this around. I don't need to wrap a ton of times, and in fact, if I keep going too much, it will put too much pressure on that 15-0 down at the bottom, and I don't want pressure on that 15-0 because it will break. It will absolutely shatter. So just, keep going, but don't wrap it too tight. And then I cut off my excess wire. And now I've got one dangle done. I'm going to move this out of the way so that we can do this. But yeah, while I'm doing this, I'm going to just keep making my dangles while I'm talking about my Earrings Everyday project. It's something that I started a few years ago. This will be my 3rd year doing Earrings Every Day for the month of April. I will put links to the playlists for my first year, which would have been 2023, and for my second year for 2024 in the description below. This will be the first video on my new playlist for 2025 for Earrings Every Day. And what I'm probably going to be doing, and I've done this before, the first year's is a lot of shorts, because earrings are fairly quick projects. Not this one, because you've got to make a lot of dangles, but earrings are fairly quick projects. They're something that you can do fairly quickly, so for a lot of them I just did shorts that were like sped up versions of my tutorials. And it was something that I could try and get my tutorial to fit into the 1 minute limit that we used to have on shorts. You can have longer shorts now, but I still may do a couple that are sped up tutorials, the ones where I'm not, sitting here talking and making all of the dangles with you for these sorts of things. And the thing is, I do have some of my friends here on YouTube that have trouble watching the shorts. So the shorts might give them vertigo, or the sped up version is hard to follow, or something like that. Whatever reason, if you have trouble following those shorts or watching them, please don't force yourself to. I would like you to instead join me on the journey, make your own earrings. And or I will also, in addition to the shorts, I'll post little photos of my completed projects, so you can at least give me a thumbs up there if you'd like. But I will also be posting a few. They'll be shorter videos than I normally make, but they'll be longer than shorts. I'll do a few of those if time permits. Again, scheduling, life, whatever happens with these things. But I will also be making sure that whatever other projects I make during this month, there will be earrings. So, maybe I'll be making a bracelet and then I'll make some earrings too. Or maybe I'll be doing a necklace and I'll make some earrings too. And so it's pretty easy to add them on to existing projects if you just save a couple of the beads that you were using. Maybe add a couple of dangles, do that sort of thing. I have so many fun pairs of beads in some of the bead boxes that I'm going to be working with this month that it's going to be pretty easy for me to get to some of these earring projects. Alright, so far I've got 4. This does take a little bit of time, but just a little background and history on what this sort of means to me is I started doing jewelry making during lockdown, and it was one of those things where I was trying to find a new hobby now that I didn't have to commute to work and back, and I had also stopped competing in powerlifting, so I wasn't doing 4-hour training sessions at the gym or anything like that. So having a bunch of free time, and I'm not the kind of person who can just sit and stare at a wall or a TV. I gotta do stuff with my hands. So I had tried out a bunch of different hobbies, and I found that I really liked jewelry making. Now, I'd already been a very prolific knitter prior to this, but a knitting project takes a lot of time. And I needed that sort of quicker completion sort of boost, serotonin boost, where you start a project and you finish it in a day or in a couple of hours, or with earrings, within a few minutes you can have a completed project. And it was just one of those things where the time that it takes to create, and then having a completed and finished project at the end of that. It's short enough with jewelry making that it scratched a very great itch for accomplishing things, for getting things done, for doing something right. And earrings are such a great way to have something in your day go right from the beginning. You can make a pair of earrings. And so for a year, I made a pair of earrings every day, and this was before I had started making jewelry making tutorials or anything like that. I would sit down with my cup of coffee before work, and this is when my main jewelry making area was at the dining room table. So I'd sit down and make a pair of earrings, maybe think about like deep philosophical things, maybe just let my mind drift on what my day ahead was looking for. It was a really great way for me to center myself, to have a little thing that I can start my day with a win, you know, like no matter what else was going to happen that day, at least I made a nice pair of earrings. And then I'd wear those earrings throughout the day, and things would go great. I would get little kits, little Sunny Clue earring kits. They're fairly inexpensive. They come with little ideas of how to put things together, and you know, they've got some really cute themes, and they come with basically everything but the tools. So you've got all of your like head pins, jump rings, ear wires, as well as beads and dangles and things like that included. I love Sunny Clue kits. I think they're fantastic. I'll put a link to their page on YouTube in the description below. You can also get them from BB Sunny Clue is a BB brand, so I'll include a link there as well in the description. They're just a really fun way to just say, you know what, I'm going to make some earrings and they're going to be cute and fun. And if you don't have, you know, some things like this, maybe a Sunny Clue kit would work for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 9, 10, 11. All right, I'm going to move those out. That way I don't make too many. So I've got 3 more left to do. So I was making with the Sunny Clue kits and everything like that. And then once I started creating things on my channel, I wasn't making earrings every single day. I was making other things, bracelets and necklaces, and sometimes earrings, yes. But I sort of missed that. I missed that time to myself, that making something at the start of my day, that win, that dub, you know? And so I decided in 2023, in the spring, I was like, you know what, I'm going to go for an entire month. And I'm just going to make a pair of earrings every day. And it was so much fun. It was so fulfilling. I made it work. There were some times, like I went to a music festival and I made earrings in my tent between punk shows, and it was fantastic. And then I just kept doing it. And last year I did it again, and it was, again, fun and fulfilling. And it just is one of my favorite things, making earrings. They are small but complete projects that add a little bit of something to your day, a little bit of something to your wardrobe. Sorry. It's one of my favorite things. So being able to do it every day is, while it's a challenge, it's also a joy. I don't like to do challenges that are a slog or something like that. So if you were to join me, you don't have to make earrings every day. You could challenge yourself to maybe make an extra pair of earrings than you normally would have. Or you could challenge yourself to make a pair of earrings every week. Or to say every necklace that you make, you're going to also make some earrings with it. Or you could just watch me in my challenge, and you don't have to participate. That's the great thing about it. Now, there are no prizes if you do decide to join me, except for the satisfaction of making some earrings and having 30 new sets of earrings at the end of the month. But I'm pretty excited about this. I love the fact that when I choose to do this, it usually coincides with like springtime, and so we may get some floral or some growing things themed earrings out of this. It might happen. Just scooching this out of the way so that the camera only needs to see what it needs to see. And now comes the putting together part, where I've got 2 sets of pliers, one to hold the jump ring, one to twist it. And I'm going to start with one jump ring down at the very bottom of the cluster. And this one's already a little bit open, so I don't need to open it very far, but I'm going to put one dangle right on this one jump ring. And let's close it up. There we go. So now that that is closed, I'm going to pick up a second jump ring. There. This one I do need to swing open a little bit more. And the order that you do this doesn't really matter so much as far as like putting it on, but you are going to want 2 of the dangles and the previous jump ring that you just added a dangle to on this one jump ring, and then close it up. So that slipped out. I need to close that up a little bit more. You know, I think they tend to slip a little bit more when I use a second set of pliers than they do when I use the jump ring tool. So basically, let me just spread these out a little bit so you can see the construction a little bit better. You've got this one attached to that jump ring, and then these 2 attached to this jump ring. I'm going to be adding another jump ring up here with 2 more attached to it, and to this one that the 2 are attached to here. So that's how I build my cluster. So let's open up this jump ring here, give that a little twist, and add these guys. Now, when you put it on, you're going to want to make sure that you're going through the jump ring between the 2 so that they're on either side of the jump ring on here. That's where it sort of matters where you're doing it and how you're going on. But then you add your second jump ring, or your second dangle. Come on, friend. So that's my next one. So far so good, and I'm just going to keep adding these on until I get all 11 of my olives in my little bunch. So see, this is what I mean where it doesn't really matter what order you put it on. It does matter whether or not those dangles are going to be on either side of the new jump ring that we're adding though. So I'm going to put that one through here. See, I can move this other one over to the other side after the fact, like that. Alright, 2 more connection points, and then we'll have that. Let's just add both of these here, and then this one. Okay. I'm just trying to set it down nicely so that it's easy for me to find that loop when I go to connect to the next one. If you do like set it down and get it all jangled up, you can find the end by identifying which loop just has one dangle attached to it and just turn it upside down and go back to the other end of that little chain that these are all attached into, because we are basically making a chain with dangles attached. Let's get these guys. Oh, I need to swing this one open a little bit more. There we go. For these little dangles. Now these dangles would probably be really cute in a bracelet too, or something like that. I could definitely see making a little bracelet with some pimento olive dangles off of it. You wouldn't have to cluster it for that unless you wanted to. But actually these would make super cute cha-chas. But now I can go ahead, I'm going to swing that back open and just attach my ear wire onto the jump ring. Since I already have the jump ring in my pliers, I can put my ear wire on here. What? Guess I need to open it a little bit more. There we go. Closed. And now I have my second earring with my little olive clusters. And there we go. So that is my first project for Earrings Every Day for April of 2025. Alright, I will see you guys tomorrow with my second pair of earrings. Maybe they'll be accompanying a necklace. Maybe they will just be something that I've been inspired to do. I don't know yet. We're going to find that out. Until next time, happy beading.